Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos and welcome to Viridian City, where the Viridian Fissure are hosting the Hearthome Haunts. The Haunts are going to be starting out with Cursula and Poltergeist, whereas the Viridian Fissure are going to be starting out today with Hippowdon and Runerigus. Now, let us know in the comments below who you think is going to win today, the Fissure or the Haunts. Both teams are practically on opposite ends of the spectrum, so we'll see what can happen today. Poltergeist is going to start out. Poltergeist having that 134 base special attack, and it's about to give it a boost with that meteor beam, so we're going to see this hit in the next turn. There's that special attack boost coming. Hippowdon now looking to respond, go with the first physical attack potentially. It has 112 base physical attack, and it's going to go with the Accelera. Big hit on the Poltergeist with that critical hit. Poltergeist's weak armor as well is going to lower its defenses. It will boost its speed, however. Runerigus now, with an opportunity to capitalize, who's also a Park Ghost type, so could have been drafted to the Hearthome Haunts. It's going to go with the Shadow Claw. This will be super effective. And it goes for Cursula, and it's a one-hit wonder. Cursula is eliminated before it even gets the opportunity to get off any offensive maneuvers. As always, this is a 6-on-6 Metronome battle, so let us know in the I already said that, didn't I? This is a 6-on-6 Metronome battle, so if we do hit the 20-minute time limit, we will go into single battle overtime. That's what I was going to say. Decidueye now comes out for the Hearthome Haunts, and here comes that Meteor Beam from Poltergeist. Massive hit onto Hippowdon. Clearly I was shocked from the early elimination there of Cursula. Decidueye now, that 107 attack, 100 special attack. It's going to go with a Sky Attack here, so we'll see that one also take effect in the next turn. Hearthome Haunts currently going with the two-turn moves. Hippowdon is going to put the Leech Seed over on the side of the Hearthome Haunts. Looks like it's going to target Poltergeist, so it's going to be taking some health from Poltergeist and putting it into its own health. Runerigus, amazing start to this battle with that one-hit wonder. Goes with a defense curl looking to boost its defenses. Runerigus actually has 145 base defense, so there's that boost for it. And here's the Leech Seed taking effect onto between Hippowdon and Poltergeist. There's that health boost. But as I was saying, these two teams practically on opposite ends of the spectrum. Viridian Fissure are on a 5-game losing streak, and their current record is 1-5. They're sitting 16th on the ladder, which is horrible. They are having a terrible season. But Poltergeist is going with a Healing Wish. This is actually the start that Viridian Fissure need. So Poltergeist is taking itself out of this battle. That's now 2 down for the Hearthome Haunts. This is terrible. Here's that Sky Attack though, taking effect from Decidueye, and it's going to go for Runerigus. Not a bad hit, but still in the green is Runerigus. Viridian Fissure having the perfect start to this game. Role play coming from Hippowdon. So it's going to switch its Sand Force into the same as Decidueye's Overgrow. So it will get a boost of Grass type attacks if it gets into low health. Sparkling Area coming from Runerigus. It's going to hit everybody on the field, including its own partner. So big damage done to Hippowdon, taking it down into the yellow with that super effective hit. Barely leaves a mark on Decidueye, however. 4th Pokemon already coming out for the Hearthome Haunts. And it's going to be Aegislash in its shield form. So it's got 140 defense, 140 special defense. That will switch if it goes to its blade form, however. Decidueye would be in the quickest on field with that 70 base speed. Goes with a stockpile, so it's just going to stockpile 1. As I was saying though, Viridian Fissure, 5 losses in a row. They definitely need to break that negative streak. Aegislash is going to switch its stance, so it will be going into that blade form. So it's going to have that all-impressive attack stat now. And it's going to go with a Bolt Strike, which isn't going to affect anyone on the Viridian Fissure, as they are immune to electric types. Uproar now coming from Hippowdon, which is also ineffective against the ghost types. They're immune to fighting and normal type attacks, but we get a Gust now coming from Runerigus, and it's going to target Aegislash, barely doing any damage. Now, as I said, with the Viridian Fissure having lost 5 games in a row, they had their worst defeat last week when they were beaten by the Saffron Psychics. Saffron Psychics getting their first win of the season, which is very embarrassing for Viridian Fissure. They're going to want to look to redeem themselves today as that harsh sunlight takes effect on the field. Aegislash. It's going to go with an Eerie spell. Targeting Hippowdon, and a massive hit, and Hippowdon has been eliminated by Aegislash. It's the first Pokemon down for the Viridian Fissure Hearthome Haunts, finally getting one on the board. And a Bubble Beam in response by Runerigus. And it will target Decidueye with a Grass Ghost type. So it's not going to be very effective. Third Pokemon now coming out for the Viridian Fissure. And it's going to be Swampert. So this is the second starter we've seen in this battle so far. The other one being Decidueye of the Alola region. Swampert from the Hoenn region. Swampert's coming on with that 110 base attack. We get a Nuzzle coming from Decidueye, which again won't affect the ground typings. Aegislash, going to go with a Rock Blast. Gets one hit onto Runerigus. It has two. See if we can get all five. No, it will only get two, so that's not what Aegislash needs. Swampert now. Going to go with a Swift. Normal type move again, won't affect the Ghost type. These two teams having their immunities has been a big benefactor for both. Dual Wing Beat. Decidueye is going to avoid that attack. Now, Hearthome Haunts are very opposite to the Viridian Fissure. They're currently sitting in second with a 5-1 record as opposed to the 1-5. And they're on a 4-game winning streak. They're going to want to continue trying to get their fifth today. And Decidueye goes with a Brave Bird onto Swampert. Massive hit onto the Water Ground type. Swampert with an opportunity to respond now. And it's going to go with a Luster Purge. Looks like it's going to target Aegislash. Not the biggest hit to the Steel Ghost type being not very effective. Aegislash with its opportunity to respond. And it's going to go with a Rock Slide, continue with those rock-based moves. And it hits both Runerigus and Swampert, actually taking Swampert down into the yellow, even though it's not very effective. Runerigus now having a good performance so far, goes with a Reflect. Runerigus been in the battle since the very beginning. So it is going to make its team stronger against physical type moves. As I was saying, Hearthome Haunts sitting in second. They had one of their most impressive wins last week, beating the Cinnabar Flare, who at the time was sitting in third. So all the momentum is with the Hearthome Haunts. There's a Baby Doll Eyes from Decidueye. And now we're going to get a Bullet Punch coming from Swampert. Looks like it's going to continue to target Aegislash, continuing to chip away at the Steel type with the not very effective attacks. Aegislash again with the opportunity to respond. Gonna go with a Dragon Claw. And it keeps responding to Swampert, doing much more damage than Swampert is. Runerigus, however, is gonna go with a Disable. So it's gonna prevent whoever it targets, being Decidueye, from using its Metronome. Which means Decidueye is gonna be using Struggle, so it's gonna be getting that recoil damage very shortly. And here it is, Decidueye with the Struggle. Does target Swampert, taking Swampert down into the red, but also takes itself down into the yellow with that recoil damage. Swampert has an opportunity to capitalize here. And it's going to go with a Weather Ball, so this is actually going to be super effective on whoever it hits because of its sunny day. And it's going to go for Aegislash, and Swampert has finally gotten a super effective hit on Aegislash, and it's eliminated it in the process. That is 3 down now for the Hearthome Haunts, and only 1 down for the Viridian Fissure. They have all the advantage over the very impressive Hearthome Haunts. The Hammer Arms not going to affect Decidueye there on the field. 5th Pokemon now coming out for the Hearthome Haunts. And it's going to be Drifblim, the Ghost Flying type Drifblim. With that 80 base speed, but it's got 150 base HP. That's where it really shines. So Drifblim will be going first. And it's going to go with a Lick. So potentially if its opponent paralyzed, and goes for Swampert, almost finishing it off, but it doesn't quite get the job done. Looks like the Decidueye is going to do it with its Struggle though, so Swampert has now been eliminated from the battle. There's that recoil damage again, impacting the Decidueye massively. Runerigus with a Shadow Punch. Again, another super effective move, and this time going for Decidueye, and Decidueye has been eliminated by Runerigus, who again has still been in this battle since the very beginning. Unbelievable performance so far. We have Dusknoir, the last Pokemon coming out for the Hearthome Haunts. Which means Runerigus has seen every Pokemon that the Hearthome Haunts has to offer. We have Mudsdale coming out for the Viridian Fissure. Dusknoir coming in has 135 special defense and defense, so it can really take a hit. See if it actually does in this battle. Stomp coming from Drifblim, going to go for Mudsdale. It wouldn't have impacted Runerigus with its Ghost type. Dusknoir now. Going to go with a Meteor Mash. And it's going to go for Runerigus. Runerigus finally been taken down into the yellow, and its Wandering Spirit has switched with Dusknoir's pressure. So Runerigus will be exerting that pressure, and here goes Mudsdale. Mudsdale will potentially capitalize on that 125 base attack. It's going to go with a Fissure's Rend. And it's going to go for Drifblim. And it's a massive hit, taking Drifblim down into the yellow with a critical hit there. Rodriguez now could potentially follow it up in having a very good day today, but goes with a payday, which again, normal type moves, not affecting the ghost types. You just see those immunities come into play so often in these battles. Driftbloom looking to capitalize. It's going to go with a Teeter Dance. This is going to confuse everyone bar itself on the field, even including its own teammate of Dustmile. Let's see if it helps or hinders them. Now, as always, in our description below, we do have a link to our Instagram when we put in regular fixture and ladder updates, so always feel free to go check that out. Always with the more the merrier. Happy for people to come by. Dustmile can't shake the confusion and does hit itself. That is not good for the Hearthome Haunts, who only have 2 Pokemon left. Mudsdale also can't shake the confusion. That's a positive. Rodriguez, however, can't shake the confusion either, so everybody who's confused has hit themselves on this turn. That's potentially really good for the Hearthome Haunts, not taking too much damage. Driftbloom now, again, can capitalize on this and goes with a Tail Slap. Going for Mudsdale, gets that critical hit in. Does get 2 hits. Gets 3. Taking Mudsdale down into the yellow whilst it's at it. Dustmile needs to shake off this confusion. And it does this time. Now we just need to see if it can go with a physical or a special attack, but instead goes with a synthesis, so it's just going to restore the minor HP that it's actually lost. To boost itself back up to full strength. Mudsdale still confused, also shakes off that confusion. And he's going to go with a Vice Grip again. More moves not affecting the ghost typing. Rodriguez. Oh, everyone this turn is able to shake off their confusion. And we get a final Gambit. Again, another move not affecting the ghost typings. Which means the Hearthome Haunts have another opportunity to fully capitalize, as they still need to take down 4 Viridian Fissure Pokemon. Driftbloom's going to go with a Synthesis as well, so it's going to take itself back up nearly to full health. It'll get itself out of that yellow and back into the green. And Dustmile snapped out of that confusion, which is more good news for the Hearthome Haunts. It's going to go with Aaliyah, so it's just going to lower the defenses of the opposing team. Mudsdale can't shake off that. Sorry, can't snap out of its confusion, but it does shake it off for this turn. It gets the Metronome out. It's going to go with a Poison Fang. And it continues to target Driftbloom. It's not very effective, however, it will leave Driftbloom poisoned, so Driftbloom is going to be taking damage in between turns, which is brilliant for the Viridian Fissure as it puts Driftbloom on a ticking clock. Rodriguez haven't been in this battle for well over 10 minutes now, goes with a Pollen Puff. And it's going to target Dustmile. Will not get much damage done, again, not very effective, but there's that poisoning impacting on Driftbloom. Also in our description, not only do we have a link to our Instagram, we have a link to our Google Doc containing the ladder, fixture stats, and all the team rosters. Driftbloom now. Gonna go with a Zen Headbutt. Really, I guess, avoids that attack though. And Dustmile goes with a Slam, but it won't affect Rodriguez. Rodriguez being immune to all the benefits of Ghost and Ground immunities, being Electric, Normal, and Fighting types. Mudsdale going with the Power Trick. So it's just going to switch its attack and special attack. Oh, sorry, its attack and defense. Its defense being rather impressive, still at 100. Rodriguez still can't shake off that confusion and does hurt itself in this turn. Driftbloom still taking damage from that poisoning, almost taking it down into the yellow. There's Mudsdale and Rodriguez both in yellow, but Rodriguez haven't been in this battle since the very beginning. Is doing so well. I cannot reiterate this enough how hard it is for Pokemon to get through an entire battle or even last more than 10 minutes. It's coming up close to 15. Safeguard putting that Mystical Veil over the Hearthome Haunts, but it's a little bit late now for Driftbloom, who's already got the status condition of poisoning. Nasty plot coming from Dustmile. So it's not going to go for an attack, but instead just boost that special attack. And Mudsdale's finally snapping out of its confusion. And it's going to go with a Thunder Shock. This will be super effective if it goes for Driftbloom. And it does. Very good hit, almost taking about half of what's remaining of Driftbloom's health with that super effective critical hit. And Rodriguez also snaps out of its confusion. And it's going to go with the Gyro Ball. If it goes for Driftbloom, you've got to think it can potentially finish it here. But it doesn't. Driftbloom is holding on, but here's that poisoning taking effect. And that will finish the job. So Driftbloom has been eliminated. And the Hearthome Haunts are down to their very last Pokemon in Dustmile. Mudsdale and Rodriguez still there in the yellow. Dustmile almost at full health. And it does have the speed advantage over the 2 ground types. It's going to go with a recover, so again it's restoring its health, taking itself back up to 100%. This is the second restoration move it's done. It needs to capitalize on its offense though and do something to start eliminating these Viridian Fissure Pokemon. Get a Volt Switch coming from Mudsdale. So we'll be going back into the party after doing that damage. 5th Pokemon will be coming out for the Viridian Fissure, but Mudsdale is still in this battle. And it's going to be Seismitoad coming out for the Viridian Fissure. Water Ground typing. It is extra weak to Grass types, but we'll see what it can do. It does have that 95 base attack, and there's a Pollen Puff. Not very effective being done to Dusknoir by Runerigus. Seismitoad will also have the speed advantage over Dusknoir. And it's going to go with a teleport anyway, so it's also just going to go straight back into the party. And we know that Mudsdale will be the one coming back onto the field. So Mudsdale not gone from this battle for very long. Seems like it just wanted Seismitoad to come on and say hello. Dusknoir now going to go with a Swallow. It does fail Runerigus with its opportunity. And it's going to go with a Bolt Strike, so another electric attack going for Dusknoir. And that one does much more damage, taking Dusknoir down into the yellow. That Wandering Spirit switches back from Runerigus going to Dusknoir. So Dusknoir's got its pressure back. And Runerigus finally eats its Leopard Berry, restoring some of the PP for its Metronome, as it has been in this battle again for over 15 minutes. Hyper Voice now is going to come from Dusknoir, but it targets Runerigus again, doesn't affect that, but it will hit Mudsdale and take it down into the red. Mudsdale with its opportunity to respond now, just hanging on, and it's going to go with a Fury Dance. And we get our 3-minute warning now, so we have 3 minutes left in this battle before we potentially go into overtime. Dusknoir needs to hang on. It still has 4 Pokemon to take down, but we're going to get a Pin Missile from Runerigus. There's 1. There's 2. Gets Dusknoir down into the red. That's 3 now. Gets a critical hit on that 3rd one as well. There's 4. Not very effective move, but it gets all 4 hits, and Dusknoir is still just hanging on in this battle. Runerigus is potentially going to see this whole battle out, which we've never seen a Pokemon go from the start into overtime, and that's even if we get to overtime. We have seen Pokemon last an entire battle, but typically they don't last this long. Sunny Day takes the field again after Dusknoir uses that Sunny Day to make that that sunlight extra harsh. Mudsdale now. It's going to go with an Infestation, hoping to finish the job. This won't do much damage, but you know Dusknoir is going to take damage in between turns, so it's only a matter of time. Runerigus, though, I believe, did get the first elimination of this battle on Cursor. It's going to try and get the last one with this Dazzling Gleam. And that is it. Dusknoir has been eliminated by Runerigus, who has run the gauntlet, eliminating the first and last Pokemon for the Hearthome Haunts. Unbelievable. What an underdog victory by the Viridian Fissure. Not that they look like underdogs whatsoever in this battle. They were dominant from the very start, getting the one-hit wonder on Cursor and that Healing Wish for Poltegeist, and the Viridian Fissure never looked back. Absolute domination here over who have been the very impressive Hearthome Haunts. I believe Hearthome Haunts are definitely going to want to redeem themselves when they face Lumiose Lightning next week in Hearthome City, because they will not be happy about having lost the Viridian Fissure. Whereas the Fissure will be ecstatic from this win, and understandably so, beating the second place Hearthome Haunts. Whereas next week, they're going to travel to Olivine City and take on the first place Olivine Ore. So if they can beat the team in second, I wonder if they can actually beat the team in first, the Olivine Ore, and on an even bigger and more impressive winning streak than what the Hearthome Haunts are. So I look forward to seeing that match next week. But that performance by Runerigus, wonderful. But as always, Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field, probably besides Runerigus. And always remember, you are awesome, and I will speak to you next time.